When I first moved to New York City, I went to over 100 auditions and I did not get cast in anything, even though I got a bunch of callbacks. And obviously that was not great for my mental and emotional health. I started to wonder if maybe I just was not cut out to be an artist, even though deep down I knew I really couldn't do anything else and be happy. But luckily I realized I was actually just completely self-sabotaging myself. Now I help other artists and creatives and influencers who are also self-sabotaging. And here are the signs that you don't have a talent problem, you don't have a networking problem, and you don't need an industry gatekeeper, but actually you have a self-sabotage problem. Coming in hot at number 1, you aren't taking any action. Now, maybe that one seems obvious, but you, like a quintessential self-sabotage is you know what you quote-unquote should be doing, but you're not actually doing it. The second one is that you're taking action, but you're not seeing any results. This feels like you're constantly busy, you're always working, you're like literally thinking about your work 24/7, but you're just not getting results. For me, this looked at waking up at 4 a.m. to go to every single audition, but I wasn't actually getting seen at them. But I was also really busy because I kept doing things like tinkering around on my website or submitting to roles that I wasn't actually right for or didn't actually care about. If you're taking a bunch of action, but you're not seeing any of the results that you want, that's probably because you're giving off what I call like an energetic body odor that is actually repelling opportunities from you, showing up way more desperate than you would like, which is really frustrating when you like realize that you're showing up in a really desperate way, but you're like, okay, but how the fuck do I stop? Okay, the third sign is compare and despair. So this is when you see someone, maybe it's someone that you went to school with, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's just a random hot internet stranger and you see that they're successful or they're suddenly, quote unquote, suddenly popping off. And then you start to immediately like down an entire tub of ice cream. Instead of thinking, oh, this could be possible for me, I'm next. That's a sign that you have self-sabotage. Fourth one, you are always doing research. So these are my people who are listening to every single podcast and every single documentary, listening to every guru, reading every book, typically not actually investing though, consuming a lot of free information and wondering if you're maybe missing something. Could always be taking technique classes or going back to the same teachers over and over again. But basically you feel like there's some piece of information that if you had it, then you would be able to figure it out. Okay, this one's kind of triggering. Your life keeps becoming a tornado, meaning every time that you say that you're going to do something, all of a sudden shit just hits the fan. Okay, I'm running out of time. I want to make sure that I hit the other. Second to last, we have confusion. This is where you're confused about what the next step should be, or you're always asking other people for advice on your work or your portfolio. And you keep changing your mind about what direction to go. It said that successful people make decisions quickly and don't second guess it, and that less successful people take a really long time to make decisions and then they go back on it over and over and over again. The last one is that your goals are quote unquote important, meaning that society would deem them as a good, worthy cause, but they don't actually necessarily light you up. If you're doing this, you know what I mean. I'm out of time, but I do have a free training on how to overcome this in my bio, so make sure to check it out if you're noticing yourself doing these.